So this is a 1993 Suzuki Intruder. A lot of upgrades. It didn't look anything like this when I got it. I'll include a picture of what it looked like before I started. So one of the first things I did was I made pegs on the front and controls because I'm tall. You're probably going to want to be at least 6 feet tall to ride this bike. Although shorter people can still reach, you just might have to adjust the angle of the shifter so it's a little closer to you. Handlebars, they're a fair bit below my shoulder height, so if you're like 6 feet tall, you should be good. You could swap out the risers and put something shorter in, and that would lower it down a little bit without going too far. Red neons, they're wired into a switch right there. They're also wired into the park light, so you can park your bike and the tail light stays on. I wired into the tail light so they'll all stay on. They're all LEDs. The battery's a pain to get at on this bike, but that should be good for hours to leave. I always turn them off if I'm going to be more than like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. The headlight has an extra little bulb in the bottom there. I was going to replace with a red light. I haven't done that yet. High and low beams work. I have new signal lights that are fogged that don't stick out very far at all. Those things are ugly. Front suspension's a little cushy, but I am 360 pounds. Rides pretty good on the highway. You don't really want to be going more than about 120 on this bike unless it's perfectly flat, smooth road. The hardtail does suck. It's a putting around town bike, but it's sweet. You want to avoid potholes. There's no springs in the seat or anything. It's a true hardtail. I just ordered these saddlebags. They're actually made to fit a Harley, but they fit this thing perfect. They're not huge, but they're better than nothing. I wrap the pipes. You can actually touch your bare leg to the pipes and it won't rip flesh off. It won't, like, you can touch them and it won't leave a mark and you won't feel anything after. It's just a flat black primer, so if you get any chips in the paint, it's real easy to touch up. I just went over it with some spray that gives it a wet look. You do get wet riding in the rain. That tire sprays water up, but there's no way to block the water without making it ugly, so that's what it is. It's a little bar hopper. It's a lot of fun. It's an 800cc. Another really nice thing about this bike is it's a shaft drive. So when you change your oil, you just change your fluid in your gears there and you're good to go. Yeah, it's got working lights, license plate light, brake light works with both brakes. I used this bike for my test and it passed inspection. The instructor did mention that these lights, signal lights, are a little small. They work, they're illegal, but you're going to be seen on this thing anyways. It's noisy as shit. Speaking of which, I made this so that there's a cross pipe that goes across here, and they press together in the middle. I cut one off and then put a sleeve on there, so you can use a 12mm socket and a 12mm wrench, and you unbolt one side of your exhaust and loosen these two bolts, and then you can just put a sleeve on that's about that long, tube about that big around. Just slide it in, tighten your exhaust back up, and it's street legal. It'll be quiet, so if you got pulled over, you can fix it on the side of the road and avoid an inspection. It's liquid cooled. It's not bad even in town when it's hot and you're at lights and stuff. It's not bad on bare legs. It's a nice little bike. It's a lot of fun. I put a lot of time into it.